What's up, party people? Give it up for Uncle Dad here at the live. Sorry, I'm trying to come up with ways to make this more interesting, and I'm having a hard time with that. So, without further ado, I'm Uncle Dad. That's just Mike, and this is the UncleDad Talks show. What's up, Mike? How are you?
Yo, I don't know what to say if you're having a problem finding how to make yourself more interesting. Is that something you deal with often?
Recently it's been a challenge because we do these videos, and you and I we do these videos one every day.
Every day.
Yeah, right. And just I got to find a way to make it be interesting, right? I mean, that's the thing. We need to be interesting people, but all people are interesting. And speaking of interesting, let's give it up for what we did in this episode. We went to the Edwardian Ball.
That's right, Edwardian Ball in San Francisco.
Yeah, Mike, give us a little rundown of what that is, and then we'll go from there.
Edwardian Ball, man, I think it's been going. I forget the number, but I know it's over 10 years. And it's called Edwardian Ball because it's an event that's based off of Edward Gorey, his artwork and his children's books, which, for those of you that don't know, he would write and draw some pretty dark children's stories. So I don't know, maybe if they're just for children or not. But anyway, so each year the ball is formed around a different book. And so the theme translates to different art that comes, different performances that come, all kind of coincide with the theme of the book. And this year it was a pop-up book called The Dwindling Party. And this was one of those books that you would open up and then the pages would pop up.
Explain what a pop-up book is.
Wow. Yes. So for those of you little young MFers out there, I don't know about this because you have, VR and AR and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So before any of that, before computers, before everyone had a phone in their hand, you would buy a book that would open and the page would construct a thing that you would look at.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
That sounds like technology.
It was a technology of his time, and they were really exciting back then. It's funny. I looked up this book online just to see. This book is now it's like $600 if you want to buy this book.
Wow. That seems like a lot of money for a pop-up book.
Well, they're collector's items now because obviously they don't make them anymore.
Yes, that's true. So, Mike, the Edwardian Ball was something that I've never covered before, and you've been a big part of it for a while. It does seem like it kind of intertwines with the Burning Man culture. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very much crossover there.
Okay. And, before we talk about who we talked to, who your involvement with this Edwardian Ball is that your art was featured there. Tell our audience about that.
Yeah, so each year, give or take a year or two in the mix for the last few years, they do a call to artists. And so I submit a piece that relates to the book. And so, so this year I had a new piece that I did where it was in the pop-up theme where I kind of redrew the cover of the book in my style and then layered it. Like they printed each section, like there's a family looking at a gate and behind the gate is a forest and behind the forest is a castle. So each section of that I kind of printed on a different sheet and then layered them into a really cool old frame. So it does kind of have that pop out look. And so that was my new piece. And then I pop out embellished some of my older pieces from previous years.
Now, do you have a digital picture of that I could insert right here somewhere?
Yes, I do. Look, there it is.
Oh, wait, hold on. One, 2, 3.
Oh, there it is.
Wow. Technology. That's a pop-up book.
See, that's why we don't have pop-up books anymore.
Exactly. You just push a button. There it is. When we were here, first off, the experience is like no other. All right. And anybody can go to this, right, Mike?
If you can buy a ticket, yeah.
Yes. As long as you can buy a ticket, anybody can go. It's quite the extravagant event. It's quite timely. It's beautiful. It's something that I think you should experience if you were in the San Francisco Bay Area. And we got to talk to some great people. One of those people we talked to was Maury, and she is from Maury's Mysterium, which is a kind of like a curiosities and oddities shop with a little bit of lampshades in there. And I mean that literally, not figuratively. If you go to www.maurymysterium.com, you can see more about her work. But that was a lot of fun because it's kind of like it's a trend now, right? Like the oddity art is a trend now, right? Like with using the vintage look of things and putting like dead insects and skeleton bones, not of people but of animals and stuff like that, right?
Not of people, yeah. You're not going to see a human skull in her lampshade.
No, no, no. But using that Victorian era type, I guess, vibe, I guess is the best way to put it. And she was very great to talk to, and that interview is in here as well. And I don't know, Mike, what do you think about her art? I mean, would you have something like that in your home?
Yeah, maybe in the right corner, like that have a lampshade with that. But yeah, that's definitely an aesthetic that is popular. That kind of, I don't know, just
I
that
know.
look, dead
Gosh,
things, and cool. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, there was a whole room full of vendors with original clothing and art, and they all kind of felt like they were part of this kind of Victorian age or theme of the party, right? Or the ball, right? So she was in the vendor area, the
and
bazaar.
the bazaar, there you go. And some would say she was the belle of the ball.
Some would say. Some would say.
I just wanted to find a way to put that in there. I wanted to say that once in this episode. Well, the ball.
Well, there it is.
There it is. Yeah. So, before we go on the rest of the guests, Mike, what would be your name, your Victorian era name? What would it be?
Oh, it was Frederick.
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 Yes.
Yes. And what was yours?
Sir Lincoln.
Oh, Sir Lincoln. Yeah. Well, let it be known to the listeners and watchers now that we did kind of fall into a character version of ourselves, our whole little crew. And it took a couple days to really get out of that. We just kept it going out here, and it was fun. It made it fun.
Yeah, totally. I have to share the story. One of the first texts I sent when Mike arrived, I go, "Shall I come find you, my studious fellow?" And you had just gotten there, and your response. Tell me your response was. It was great.
I don't remember. What was my response?
His response was, "Take it easy."
Yeah. Well, I had to get into the scene and get into character myself.
Yeah,
I hadn't really arrived.
but I made you feel welcome.
It set the tone.
Exactly. Yes, I did. Yes, quite. So let's talk about who else we spoke to. Mike, a lot of these people are close friends of yours. So I really want you to kind of tell us the rest of the crew.
Yeah. So you got to talk because I hadn't arrived yet. I was still, on my way.
Getting serious.
Had to be fashionably late. You got to talk to Justin Katz, who is the main mind behind Edwardian Ball. He and his partner Devin Madsen, they put it together, and he looked absolutely unrecognizable when I saw him. I think that's kind of what he was going for because he can avoid getting stopped every 5 minutes. So you got to talk to Justin, who's also very big in the Burning Man organization. He works for the Man and does a lot for the community events team and out on Playa too. So awesome dude. And we also got to talk to another good friend of mine who was Alvaro Contreras, and he was one of the people who really put a lot of work in the big art piece on Playa this year, the Naga and the Captainess. So we talked to him about that because they had sections of that here at the ball for people to kind of check out in the art gallery space.
It was amazing, by the way.
Yeah, and like some of those pieces that I don't even remember seeing when we were on the playa because you just can't see everything. And then lastly, we talked to the wonderful Callie Dunlap, aka Callie Dunlap Art, as we like to say, because she also had pieces of art in the ball, and they were in the main ballroom. Three beautiful pieces, and so we had a nice chat with her about that.
Some would say she had 4 beautiful pieces, including you.
I think only you would say that, but that's okay. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
I got you. Sir Lincoln has your back.
Thank you.
Yeah, so honestly, these conversations were great because it's always great also talking to not just artists and people who are doing great things, but especially when you know them, and getting to know them, it's been amazing, right? Like Justin is a friend of yours. I do consider, Alvaro a friend as well. Then, obviously Callie Dunlap Art, big homie. So, getting to celebrate your guys' all work, it's always just such a wonderful thing to do. So thank you for allowing us to record that. Thank you for allowing us to be there. Not that it's your event, but thank you.
Yeah. Happy to do that. And we wanted to talk to some of the performers, like Val Duver Society was there and Fufu Ha, but they were a hard catch. They're either coming or going or getting ready to be on stage, and we tried. It just unfortunately didn't work out. But it happens every year in January. So if you're in the Northern California area, I definitely think you should check it out and go, at least, like you said, at least once, just to experience it.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just, art, and there's also music. There's live performances like bands and all that good stuff. There's also interactive things. Like one of the things I got to do, actually, we didn't even have him on the show, but I should mention we were helped by our dear friend, Terry. Terry's been on the show a couple times. Terry makes stuff at Instagram. Great artist as well. Me and him were kind of exploring things, and they had a tea time area, which was amazing, where you can sit down, drink some wonderful tea. They had this, I think you guys went on it, like this interesting little car, I don't know, like a ride of some sort, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like a fun house ride. That guy's there every year, but he sets it up a little different based on the theme. But yeah, it's like you get in a cart, like some sort of track, like a mine cart, exactly, and you ride it through some stuff, and it's fun, and it's just silly. It's just adults being silly and having fun. And,
that is actually the best way to put it. That's the Edwardian Ball, is adults being silly and being fabulous for a day.
Yeah. There's lots of different floors and rooms and little corners with different interactive things, and people bring their. I mean, it's some form of art, but they bring something that they build, and other people can work with it and play with it and say supportive, nurturing things to it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. I don't know if I told you this, Mike, but me and Terry got our art featured on the wall too.
Well, yeah. What's that?
So in one of the rooms, you could draw art, and once you've finished the section, like basically it's 3 pieces, right? And each person gets a section to draw whatever they want, and they would put that art on the wall in the art room, which led into the big art gallery room, which was like another bar. There's like a fireplace in there. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I did one. Terry did one. But guess what? They didn't put mine up there. They put Terry's up there.
Well, Terry has the Instagram with his art, so that's just how it goes.
I guess so. Well, check him out at Terry Makes Stuff.
Terry makes stuff.
There you go. Terry Makes Stuff indeed. Yeah, Mike, I think, is that it? Or do we have more to say about the Edwardian Ball?
Well, there's a lot of good people that help put it on, and shout out to all those people. We have a list of those people, and we won't name them, but we look at that list every day and thank them. So, but yeah, a lot of volunteers, and yeah, it's just so awesome. It's just an awesome event, and there's really nothing else like it. So check it out.
Check it out indeed. And Mike, if you have an image that you can send me, it'll either appear right here if he has it or not. But it is an image of the 2 lions you did that I used to hang above my bed. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
What? They don't hang above your bed anymore?
No.
They run their course?
They run their course, yeah. But you know what? My parents have it. They have it above their bed.
Do they now?
Yeah, so think about that.
We have to check that out.
Yeah, go check out my parents' bedroom. And on that note, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because where else are you going to get this kind of fun with 2 buds hanging out? And be sure to listen to the rest of the episode coming on up. Again, there will be no video in this. We did it the old school way on this one, where it was just audio, but you will get pictures, which each person talking. So please go check that out. And again, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And the more you comment, if I get at least 10 comments, I will pick a winner, and they will win a special prize from the Uncle Dad Vault. And Mike, we got some fun stuff in that Uncle Dad Vault. I mean, we've been doing this we're on the road to 5 years. So we've been doing it for about 5 years. And so, we got some crazy good stuff to give out.
Yeah, crazy good stuff that we don't want to have to pay to keep space for it in our house anymore.
So if you comment, you got a chance to win something cool.
Right.
Please go do that. More details on our 5-year anniversary party coming soon, and we hope to see you there. But last but not least, Mike, any last words?
Well, if we are happy, then we're good.
Then we're good indeed.
About that. Sometimes simple is the best, right?
Sometimes simple is the best indeed. Sir Lincoln and Frederick wish you adieu, and we will see you all on the morrow. 3.
All right, everybody, Uncle Dad here, hanging out with somebody very cool. You can hear all that background noise, and that's okay because we're at a very lovely event. I am with one of the co-founders of one of the most amazing events you'll ever go to in your life, and that is the Edwardian Ball. Give it up for Justin Katz. Justin, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, Uncle Dad.
So, this is my first time experiencing this. I've always heard these stories from Mike, and Mike will be joining the show later. But how would you describe this event for our audience?
Well, I really encourage people to see it for themselves because it's a little bit, in my opinion, beyond words. But if I have to, I describe this as a co-created, whimsical, imaginary world that has all kinds of ingredients based on music, theater, dance, costumes, literature, history, fine art, vending. There's all these ingredients and cultures and subcultures and sub-subcultures that come together once a year to create a world like no other.
Yeah, this really is a world like no other. Mike would always talk so just affectionately about this event. One of his actual pieces that he put out, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, I don't know if you remember it, but it had 2 lions on it. And then at the Edward on the middle of that. Do you remember that piece?
It's in my home.
Okay, I have one of those too in my home. Yes, I love that. Yeah. I love that you have that too. It's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have. So this ball has always been a part of my life. I just never gotten to experience this time. And now, not only do I get to experience, but we're going to share with our audience. So it's so exciting. So how do you get to this? How does one say, hey, I'm going to work with people to fund this kind of event?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that is really fundamental to it is that the Edward in Edwardian is not actually the Edwardian era of history. It's not King Edward. It's not a historical reference. It's the art and stories of the author Edward Gorey. And so Edward Gorey, as a 20th century American author, brought a really wonderful and deep collection of work in the form of books, illustrations, masterpiece theater, the New York Ballet. And from the beginning, this event has been celebrating that body of work, but at the same time wrapped in the fun sort of double play of being a recreated historical time.
Yeah, I love it. And it's I'm not really familiar with the author, but I imagine you just feel the presence here. And you feel the presence of the author with you, right? Would you say that?
He has been with us from the beginning. He passed away in 2000, and so one of our only regrets is that he didn't get to come and enjoy all the people enjoying him. I think he would have. But every year we choose one of his books and create an original stage performance out of it.
Wow.
So at that point, he is quite literally in the room, and his books, which are sometimes rather droll and macabre, are brought to life in a circus live music theatrical stage show.
Wow, that's amazing. So, this kind of event, what does it take to put it on? I mean, obviously besides money and people, I mean, how much
money and people.
Yeah, right. I know that's usually what it is, but how much deeper does that go? I mean, how many people do you have in your team?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think the reason that this works and the reason that is as big and diverse and energetic as it is because it's built on inviting people to do what they do best, and so it's like a collage of artists and creators and weirdos and dreamers, and we put all of that together and give everyone space within a container that has a certain vibe or aesthetic. It's not anything goes, but once we all kind of share a mood and we all get into this space together, then anything goes.
I love that. Do you ever get any comparisons to a Victorian Burning Man at all? Burning Man-esque?
The references certainly come up, and I think a lot of the culture and a lot of the community, especially in San Francisco here, is crossover. Yeah. Both Burning Man and the Edwardian Ball are really participant-driven events, and I think here, my team and I like to say that what happens on the floor in the room between people is just as cool, if not better, than anything that's going to end up on any stage. And I think that ethos of we create this together is what keeps it not just, as they say, not just surviving but thriving.
Yeah, I love that, man. And because me and Mike always talk about on this show about when you're when you're passionate and you want to create and you want to connect, art is the way to go. And it doesn't have to be like painting or drawing. It can be any type of, even what I'm doing is art, right? We do art in our own ways. And I think having a world and space where we can come together and create together and do it in unifying just freedom is the best way to do it. I love that you're doing that, man.
I love that. That's a really nice way to say it.
Yeah, I love it, man. I am so thankful to be here. Thank you for having us. And before we wrap up, I don't know a lot about his books, but what was your top 3 of his books?
Well, I first discovered him on the back shelf, on the tippy top of the very back of a bookshelf, a book called The Son of the Martini Cookbook. Okay. And that will forever be in my heart as an illustrated guide to how to properly make dinner after you've had 1, 2, 3 or more martinis. But also, all of his works really bring an opportunity. The Gashley Crumb Tinies is his most famous, and that was our first ever. This year we're doing his one and only pop-up book, which is why we got our theme of pop-up. And my favorite book is, at the risk of, sounding a little corny, it's the one that we're immersed in.
Okay. I love that, man. So where can our audience learn more about this event and more about what the Edwardian Ball does?
Well, our website, edwardianball.com, has a really nice archive of events, videos, photos of people and projects and art. And then we're pretty active on our local, social communities. So Instagram is a great place for people to see what's coming up and to reach out and connect with us and say, hey, I'd like to do something. Like, that's our favorite, is to hear from people. Because this is really, this Edwardian door is open.
I love that. Go check them out, please. And seriously, let's participate together. Let's create together, because that's what life is about, is connecting together. So thank you so much, Justin. It's an absolute pleasure. And I cannot wait to have more fun tonight with Mike. Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Uncle Dad here, hanging out with just Mike. He finally got here. Mike, say hello.
It is a long walk down such streets through the San Francisco. Am I not supposed to do the?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get that on Mike. So.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm here now. Yes.
And we are hanging out with somebody who has something very cool, a very lovely booth. Let's give it up for Maury of Maury's Mysterium.
Hi.
Am I saying that right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Sorry, I guess my anxiety is always through the roof, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
yeah. Let's talk. Yeah, I know. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. So, Maury, tell us a little bit about who you are and tell us about what you kind of have here.
Well, I'm an artist. I'm from Santa Cruz. I just started making art over the last couple of years, and I just started vending and selling my art this last year. My art is very vintage oriented. All of the things I make, they're either crafted. I curate the vintage Italian convex glass frames. I source them from antique stores, thrift stores. I hunt them down online, vicious eBay sales, cutthroat, down to the last second. I get insects, I pin them myself, and I put them in there. I make hand-sewn lampshades that take me up to 20 hours sometimes to make. So everything I have is just very vintage, and many hours go into it.
So some would say you have blood, sweat, and tears in this.
Truly, an unfortunate amount of blood. I poke myself with a lot of needles, and yeah, definitely.
Which pieces have the blood, and how can I buy them?
Definitely the lampshades.
Okay.
Definitely the lampshades. That's where all the needle pokes come in.
Okay, so I please tell me now, the pieces you have here, the skulls, are those real skulls or are those fake?
They're real skulls. Yeah, all the bugs and bones that I work with are real.
Really?
Yeah.
How is that? Is that hard to clean? I mean, are they already clean? You tell me the process.
They are cleaned. The bones that I get, they are all ethically sourced. They're found bones. Most of them are either from people who go and just scavenge themselves, or a lot of them are people who are from the Midwest, honestly. And there's a lot of trappers out there. Yeah, and they're the people that are just trying to curb the population that's running amok, and so they're just, they're using the furs and the meat, and then they take the skulls and they clean them, and then I buy them. And my mailman must be very confused because I'm just buying a lot of bugs and a lot of bones, and hopefully my mail isn't too stinky because I'm buying a lot of weird stuff and getting it shipped.
Mike, how does that make you feel?
I feel great. I mean, yeah. Well, and so I'm looking, and so you also have these very antique-looking frames. So Is that something that you also go and scour and look around for to like find old? I mean, these look like old frames. They don't look like frames that are made now to look old. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Convex glass is not common. It's not common anymore. It's really hard to make. And when I'm processing it, a lot of the stuff in the bigger convex frames that I have, there's a glued print to the inside of it. So not only like when I take the glass out of the frame, I have to soak the glass like for a couple days and then like scrape it off and peel it off. So that alone takes me a really long time just to process the glass. And then the glass has I'll get glass shards that come off. So it's a very painstaking process just to get the glass clean.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
I mean, it's a good thing that you work for yourself, because otherwise you'd be filing for workman's comp and someone would have to pay for your time.
Or you could still file and see what happens. I don't know, maybe, right? I mean, what do you think?
It'd be very meta, but yeah.
So I have to ask you another question. Are you into the horror world of films?
Not so much. Not so much. It's very surprising. And I'm also not someone that gets super into Halloween, which really surprises people.
Yeah, that actually very surprises me.
Yeah.
What, if you had to pick a genre of film that you love, what would be your genre of film?
Not in genre. Lord of the Rings. That's what's the trilogy. That's just on repeat. It's just.
Some would say there's only one trilogy, and that's of the Jedi.
Some say that. But there are those that walk the fine line of both worlds.
Mike, how do you feel about that?
Well, I'd say the trilogy is Back to the Future.
All right.
I got you there, didn't I?
That's actually a damn good answer. Wow.
I threw a curveball.
Wow, okay. Well, so Maury, can you tell us where our audience can learn more about your product and where they can purchase it, all that good stuff?
So my website is www.maurymysterium.com. I don't have an adequate online shop at the moment. However, you can follow the link to my Instagram from my website. My Instagram is Maury Mysterium, and that I will have products for sale there. And then through both of those, you can find out where I'm vending locally. I vend in the Santa Cruz area, San Jose, and San Francisco, Oakland area.
Okay. So I live in San Jose. So are you doing any San Jose events soon?
I'll probably be doing them closer to December.
Ah.
So, you got some time.
I got some time. Okay. I'm going to save all my money, and then I'm going to look for specifically the blood-infused lampshades. That's what I want.
I'll save one. I'll make it extra bloody for you.
Thank you. All right, buddy. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
Yo ho, everybody. Uncle Dad here hanging out again with Mike. Mike, say hello. But actually, you know what? Fuck that. Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. Thou quite did that well.
Hello, mate.
Sure. All right, we're getting all weird. All right. Mike, I'm going to hand the mic over to you. You're going to take the keys, and I'm going to chime in here and there. But we got a very special friend of yours. He's a friend of mine as well. He's a great guy. And I'm very excited to have this person on the show. Mike, introduce our lovely guest.
Yes, well, our lovely guest, which I'm surprised we haven't had on the show, was a huge part of one of the largest art pieces at Burning Man this year, the Naga and the Captainess, which, for those who don't know the name, it was the big serpent and kind of pirate-looking ship that was coming in and out of the playa. And so my friend Alvaro Contreras, who's an amazing artist in many realms, was a huge part of that. And Alvaro, so I just want to ask you, what was it like to work on that? Who was the artist? How did you get connected? And I'm sure it's a long story, but how would you put that together in a nice little pretty package here?
Okay, so I'm going to try to keep it short. Hello to everybody out there listening. And so basically I met the artist, her name is CJ, at Unscrews, which is Burning Man Regional that happens in Santa Cruz. We happened to know each other, and we were hanging out that day. We dropped some acid, if I may say.
That's okay.
Yeah, and we were hanging out the entire day, and then that day we became really good friends for some reason. She sent me an email talking about the project, and she invited us to come and participate. So we went to a meeting. I saw the art that she had related to the entire project, and I told her that I can help her develop the idea. And so she showed me some sketches, something that she had prepared. And I had a bad criticism about it. I told her it looks very mechanical. And she's like, so how can you help me make it not so mechanical? And so we took it from there. And in the process, I ended up developing a scale system for the big sea serpent and the head, which is huge in my opinion. The fact that I'm making the head.
I mean, most people walk up to that thing and the first thing they look at is the head.
That's right. And so yeah, it was a lot of give and take, and realizing what was needed, understanding what was not needed, and allowing myself to surrender to her ideas so that it will look the way she wanted it. And then we ended up at Burning Man somehow, and here we are in this interview now.
Yeah, and so there's pieces of the Naga here. There's pieces of it that are going to be all over the place. There's some that are going to, can I say where? No, I can't say where. But I know some cool places that a lot of people are going to see it. And it's just exciting to be out and about and see something, when I see it, that I know you worked on it. But I'm sure for you to see something that you were a part of, I know you helped the artist. But it's a team, right? And it's a give and take, like you said. But I think the willingness and openness is what makes it come to be something that's in all these different places, like here at the Edwardian Ball, right?
Well, let's say it's going to be a big park here in San Francisco.
We can't say what park, but it's going to be a big park.
That's right. And yeah, it's very exciting to participate in such a big project and understand that now it's going to be part of something bigger. And it's, it's like somehow making a baby and just letting it go into the world.
Serpent baby.
Yeah, serpent baby.
Yes. Right on. So you said the artist's name is CJ. So if people, whoever these people are, haven't seen the Naga and the Captain S, how would you tell people to go online and look it up and see? Besides just Googling Naga and the Captain S, or is that as simple as it is?
Yeah, that's it. Naga and the Captain S. Do that search. Something will come up. Or Burning Man 2024, and you'll see the sea serpent.
It was everywhere. And so you do a lot. You're photography. You're an architect. You've done lots of different art. If you wanted to share your art with the world listening, how would you do that?
Whoa. Well, the next piece of art, or the main thing that I'm working on right now, it's going to be at the Lawrence Hall of Science, the Children's Museum. And it's the new installation for the future of food. So if you want to see some of my art, you can go to the Lawrence Hall of Science in Berkeley and see what's going on there.
I'm your friend, and I didn't even know you were doing that, so that's awesome. and you have an Instagram or something where people will follow you and maybe see some of the stuff that you've done, yeah?
Yes. Usually at the Instagram, I try to keep it as simple as possible. I try not to show so much of my art, but you can see some of it. And if you know how to spell this, Águila Aguilante, you'll find me.
That's clear. That's very clear.
So I just want to say this. So last year was my first time ever at Burning Man. And, I've been wanting to go for a long time. And seeing your piece truly, and I'm not just saying that because, we became friends and whatnot. Your piece truly, knowing that you're a part of that piece, took my breath away, man. It was so lovely, so immersive, and it was something that I think everybody needs to see. So I just thank you for working on that.
It was a real pleasure.
For sure.
Well, thank you very much, Alvaro, and we'll be right back after this.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear that sound in the background, there's so much camaraderie here, and it's amazing. And I'm with my favorite comrade, the one and only Just Mike.
You got to stop calling me comrade.
Damn.
Comrade.
I'm here with my favorite buddy.
Hey, what's up, man?
We're also here with our content producer, our artist. She is amazing. Give it up for the one and only Callie Dunlap Art.
Ooh, hey.
Mike, I think she has the record now of being on the show the most.
She probably has taken over H. Scott at this point. Yes.
No, she took H. Scott lost a while ago. It's Chris Wisnia has number one.
Oh, he's a tough one to beat.
So we're here at the Edwardian Ball, and you have art featured here. Now, is this the first time your art has been featured at the Edwardian Ball?
It is, yes.
What does that feel like?
It feels so great. I feel very honored to be a part of this experience here. It's a beautiful event. There's so many artists here, all kinds of different experiences to have. It's a beautiful event space. I feel super honored to be a part of it in general. So,
well, and not only are you a part of it, but your work is very prominently displayed in the main ballroom, right by the stage. And so, kudos to you for that. You did awesome work.
oh, thank you.
Oh.
I'm blushing, but I don't know what to say to that. So, that's what I say instead.
So what I think too is like, actually, can you tell our audience because you have 3 pieces here, correct? Can you tell what pieces those are?
Yes, so I have 3 pieces up. I painted one specifically for this event here to hoping that I would get in. It's an Art Nouveau inspired piece. It's irises, it's a flower piece that I made specifically Art Nouveau style, which is kind of out of my comfort zone that I usually paint in. Another piece that I submitted was a ocean piece. It's a lavender waves. It's a very spiritual piece that I have of the ocean side in Monterey, where I lived for some time. And another piece that I submitted was of the temple burn from last year from Burning Man.
I have to tell you, your Burning Man piece, and I really mean this. We're friends, so I have to tell you this. It gets me so emotional every time I see it. I really mean that. Like, when I walked in, I was here earlier than you guys. When I walked in, I told our buddy Terry, shout out to Terry, I was like, oh, wow, that's Callie's art. I go, that's one of my favorite pieces, if not my favorite piece you've ever done. That piece is so moving, so gripping, and it hits you right in the heartstrings.
Well, it calls you over to it. You know, it doesn't scream it, but it definitely calls you over it, and to give it some time and respect it. And, you know, as an artist, you spend a lot of time painting that. And so, how long do you give yourself? Or just how long does it take to create such a piece?
Ooh, how long? Well, I think it kind of varies for each piece, but I would imagine.
In particular.
Oh, for the hands? I would say I would sketch it out, heart it out pretty quick, and then the feeling of it that I try to go for is no science to it, right? I will go back and forth between the swirls that I like to say that you'll see in the piece. They're heartfelt. So I really kind of just put some in, I take them away, I put it back, I take it away, and then I feel that it's okay, like the piece feels right. I think for that piece, maybe 20 hours.
20 hours, yeah. And so,
but there's no science.
No, we don't believe in science here. And so
no.
This is
no Bill Nye here.
No, this is the first time you've displayed at an event like the Edwardian Ball, and you were accepted, and they gave you a prominent spot. So what does it mean to you to be involved with an event that's gone on for many years here in the city?
Well, I don't even know yet. I'm so happy. We went on a little treasure hunt to find my pieces this evening, which was fun. And the first time that I found them was because UncleDad knew where they were, but he led us down there. And I didn't even know that's where they were, and it's very, it just fills my heart with so much joy to be able to be a part of something like this and to see that in that place right aside where your pieces are on the other side of the doorway. And to have that be the entrance and the exit, and both of our pieces are there side by side, is so special to me. So I feel my heart, it is full. That's all.
Yeah, so, Mike, your art's there too, and we always talk about your art a lot, so it's okay. But, no, in all seriousness, your art is there as well. That must be great. You've been here a bunch of times, so that's amazing. But it's really awesome that when you have somebody new and their art's here, and I know what, obviously we know what she means to you, and it's amazing, That feeling must be amazing for you as well.
It's great because I know how much being an artist and following that path means to someone like Callie, and it's always amazing when people dive into that and follow that path and trust, and then it works out, and then you see it happen. It's this gratification, and you only get it from doing that and following that, and I can see you glowing right now, Callie, Dunlap Art, and it's beautiful.
That's so beautiful. I love that. Now, I have to ask this. I have to. What was your biggest concern seeing your art?
What?
What was your biggest concern seeing your art here? Did you have a concern?
No. I just trust.
Hell yeah.
Great answer.
Every single thing that I've done in my life has led me to just trust that I'm doing the right thing. That's it.
I love that. Now, where can our audience, if they don't know by now, where can they learn more about you, and where can they look at your beautiful art?
Callie Dunlap Art.
What do you know?
Which Uncle Dad loves to say. Otherwise known as Callie Dunlap Art.
Or CallieDunlapArt.com.
Sure. Everything across the board is either Callie Dunlap Art or Callie Dunlap Art, but .com at blah, blah, blah.
And let it be known that it's Callie spelled C-A-L-E-E.
True. Very true. Now, before we wrap it up, what's your favorite accent here?
Oh, well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, obviously. Yeah.
Fish Pasha, dude. Mike, can we hear your accent before we wrap this up?
Hello, mate.
Sure. And hold on, I'm getting a gripping news report here. Oh, we're coming here live. We gotta go. We have something about the World War II coming.
Oh, so a breaking story. We must go. Yes.
We must go right now. Now, please go check out Callie Dunlap Art, and we'll be right back after this break.